What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, the Real Quinn Jr., and I'm back with another video on Naruto the Boruto Shinobi Striker. Today we're going to be continuing our clothing series breakdown, and we're going to be talking about Out of Thin Air and also One Man Army. So if this is your first time here and you think this is content that you might like, hey, just go ahead and stay to the end. And if you've been here before and you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn the bell notifications so you can know whenever I post new videos. But you already know. Let's go ahead and hop into this breakdown.
That was the best you can do, Austin. 息がくせえ。
Okay, so when we get into the actual breakdown, when we start off with One Man Army, it basically just boosts your close range attack power. It only boosts the power of the first strike of a combo. So, pretty self-explanatory. Basically, it's just going to boost the first strike of a hit. So, some things to know about One Man Army. It only affects the first strike of combos. You have to wait for the combo to reset in order to get the effect that it's going to give. It's not effective with taijutsu, so dynamic entry, snake thrust, things where you're actually hitting the opponent. It doesn't really affect it, and it has a minimal effect, if I'm being honest with you. When I watched it, the difference that I really saw just wasn't really drastic. So you're going to see right here, I'm basically just showing you that, it doesn't really make too much of a difference whenever you're dishing out combos, and you're going to see the difference right there. There's not really too much really that changes with it, with the full combo if you have this clothing skill equipped. And then I also wanted to show you just exactly how many strikes it would take if, I was just doing normal first combo hits. So without it equipped, it took around 20 strikes in order for me to kill whoever I was hitting with it. And I am doing this against, I believe, a defense class. So, they have a decent amount of health. When I did have One Man Army equipped, it took 21 hits. So, roughly, you could kill somebody with 2 extra hits, maybe. So, we actually move over here to Out of Thin Air. Some things to know is it reduces substitution and clone jutsu cooldown times when escaping enemy attacks. So basically it's going to make you get your sub back quicker. So some key things to know about this clothing skill: it's more effective with long cooldown subs. It doesn't cancel out cooldown status effects. And I'm going to explain that once we get into the video more. And then it's stackable with cooldown reducing jutsu. So if you're using something like Super Light and Boulder, it's going to make your substitution come back even quicker than what it normally would. So when we actually get into the breakdown, you're going to see right here, I have it speed up a little bit, but normally the clay clone comes back in around 30 seconds. That's what it says it's supposed to come back in. And you're going to see whenever I actually have Out of Thin Air equipped, it comes back in 27 seconds. So it reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds, which, it can make a decent difference in a good battle. So now you're going to see I also speed it up, and I'm going to try it with the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Well, with the Shadow Clone substitution. That typically takes 25 seconds. With the clothing skill equipped, it takes 23, so it knocks off roughly 2 seconds. So now you're going to see I also want to do it with something long, and this is where you're going to see the drastic change. When you're using the Shadow Clone Explosion substitution, normally it takes 40 seconds for this to come back. So this is an extremely long cooldown. But you're going to see with the clothing skill equipped, it comes back in 34 seconds. So nearly 6 seconds taken off. So now I wanted to see how it would affect, if somebody puts a debuff. And this is what I mean when I say it's not going to cancel out the debuff. So you remember that the normal Shadow Clone substitution takes 25 seconds to come back. When somebody debuffs you, it takes 26 seconds. So you see that it basically cancels out the boost you're getting from your clothing skill. You're also going to see with the Shadow Clone Explosion, but this is what I mean when I say it affects Shadow Clone Explosion a lot better. You're going to see that even though it doesn't come back as fast, it's going to come back at the normal time. So you're going to get your substitution back in 40 seconds exactly, even if somebody hits you with a debuff, which is very overpowered, and I feel like it can be very useful. So if you're using things like multi-Shadow Clone, or you're using the Explosion Shadow Clone, then this clothing skill can come in handy. Now, in all honesty, my opinion about One Man Army, or whatever you want to call it, I feel like it's pretty mid. I feel like it's a pretty weird clothing skill to throw into the game. I mean, you're gonna throw in something that just boosts the power of the first strike. That's extremely strange, and I feel like, you know, they could have done something a lot better. If you are running this, I mean, I guess kudos to you, but personally, I don't think this actually might be one of the more useless clothing skills I've actually come across while doing these breakdowns, if I'm being honest with you. But as far as out of thin air, I feel like it's very effective, especially if you're using ninjutsus that are going to also reduce the cooldown anyway. This is just going to allow you to stack it up, and especially if you're using longer substitutions, you're going to be able to stack it up, and it's just all going to just go together perfectly. So all around, like I said, these clothing skills can be useful, but it really just depends on what you're running, and, you know, one-man army is just, you can just miss out on it. It's just not worth having it, if I'm being honest with you.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Alright, YouTube, that's gonna be it for the clothing skill breakdown for today. So, like I said, all around, one-man army, just pass it. It's mid, not that good. Now, when it comes to the out of thin air, it can be very effective if you're using the right ninjutsu with it, and, you know, that's when it can really come through. But let me know in the comments how you felt about this breakdown. If you run these clothing skills, drop some builds in the comments, and, you know, I might display them on the channel if they're worthy. But if this is your first time here and you stayed this long, just go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and turn the bell notifications so you can know whenever I post new videos. I post videos weekly, and I really appreciate any support that I get from y'all. But like I said, also let me know any special clothing skills y'all want to see, and, you know, I will make videos over these. But like I said, appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. We up.